In MCQ 36, this is with regards to cracking. Cracking is a process that involves using large hydrocarbon. So sometimes large hydrocarbon could also be referred to as crude oil or fossil fuels. And we're going to subject it to rather harsh conditions of 600 degrees Celsius using either aluminum oxide or silicon oxide as a catalyst. Now what comes out after that is going to be a series of smaller hydrocarbon. Now it's important to know that this smaller hydrocarbon could take on either of the form of a smaller alkane or a smaller alkene, and in proportions that are always going to be different from each of the cracking procedure. Alright, as well as the occasional production of hydrogen gas, which could be useful for the act of Haber process. Now, one thing really to reiterate is that this whole process is considered to give you random products. You do not always get the same thing, so it's not really reliable. But the main intention of this process is to give rise to smaller hydrocarbon that has a lower percentage of carbon by mass, and this greatly increases their combustibility. They are much better fuel. You also want to give rise to items that has a much shorter carbon skeleton. So that means that the quality, they are actually much more fluid and they are less viscous. So it's actually easier to transport. And also this gives rise to a lower MR. The extensiveness of van der Waals or weight intermolecular forces of attraction is lesser, and there's also going to be a lesser melting point and boiling point. So looking at the statements that are correct, cracking involves breaking down hydrocarbon molecules, definitely. One of the product is always unsaturated. Unsaturated refers to as alkene. It seems to be okay until they use the absolute word of always. This is not going to be the case because products are always random. And for number 3, cracking is essential because of the demand of fractions containing smaller molecules. This again has been explained in the green color segment here as to why smaller fractions are more desirable, particularly if you're going to use them for fuels. So 3 is also a correct statement. So with that, we're looking at option C as the answer for this question.